If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.
In this episode 17 of Performance Engineering series, today we are going to talk about JConsole and Java Mission Control. JConsole is a graphic monitoring tool to monitor your JVM instances. You can monitor your JVM locally or you can take remote. You can use JConsole command to launch your JConsole UI. Also, you can use JConsole space the process ID. It will automatically launch with your process ID. If you want to remote it, you can use the host name :port and then you can launch your JConsole. On the other hand, we have Java Mission Control. So Java Mission Control is an advanced set of tools that will help you to deep dive into your JVM instances. If you want something detailed and if you want to debug something more by deep diving into the JVM arguments, then you can use the Java Mission Control. Now we are going to see in a demo how you can use these two tools to deep dive into your Java performance issues. As usual, I am running a Jetty server in the left side, and in the right side, I am going to launch JConsole using JConsole and hit enter. So this will launch the JConsole, and you have to just check the relevant networking settings, and then you will be able to see this UI. So here it will automatically displays the running JVM instances. So in this case, I am running Java Mission Control and start.jar. This one is the Jetty server, and JConsole itself, it is displaying as the process. Now let me select the Jetty server here and click on connect. So by default, you will get these tabs: overview, memory, threads, classes, VM summary, and mbeans. And in the top right, you can see the connectivity status, whether it is connected or disconnected. Overview tab will give you the high-level graphs about your heap usage, threads, classes, and CPU usage. So it is very self-explanatory. You can just see what's going on with your heap, threads, etc. And also you can select your time duration. So if you want to say something last 5 minutes, then you can go with the 5 minutes window. Or you can just select all, which will display everything. Now let us go to memory. So here you will get some detailed analysis about your memory. So here if you click on this list box, you will get the multiple parameters applicable for this JVM. And here you can select the memory pool, or you can select the G1 old gen and G1 server space, etc. So based on that, it will display the metrics. Just below the chart, you can see the details, and also you can see the chart between the heap memory and non-heap memory. And if you want to perform garbage collection, you can click on this button. But again, it will stop your application to take the garbage collection, then it will resume. Similarly, threads also, you can see all the details about your threads which are running in your JVM. So here it will display the list of threads which are running, and you can also detect your deadlock. So no need to manually go through your thread dump. You can just click on this detect deadlock. It will automatically detect anything. So if there is a deadlock, then it will display it accordingly. Similarly, you can just click on the thread name, and you can, on the right side, you can see the details about the selected thread. Similarly, here also you can select the time range here. And if you click on classes, again, you will get the number of loaded classes, number of classes unloaded, etc. And also it will display the chart. Now let us click on VM summary. So VM summary will display everything in one snapshot. So here you can see the current time and my Java version, vendor, live threads, peak, heap size, operating system, architecture. So everything you will get in one snapshot. So here if you see, I have updated my Java version to Java 16 just to experiment with ZGC. I'm going to post another video about my experiments. So please stay tuned. And if you click on mbeans, you can also manage your JVMs using the mbeans feature. So here if you see, for example, logging, suppose if you want to set some logging level to info or debug or all, you can change your settings without restarting your JVM. No need to stop your JVM. You can just change on the fly. So that is the purpose of mbeans. It will help you to manage your JVM instances. So these are the options available in JConsole. So it is very basic. You cannot do much in JConsole. It will just give you the details about your JVM instances. But if you want something more advanced, then you can leverage Java Mission Control. So this is the JDK Mission Control. So if you go to help and click on about, you can see the version. So I'm running JDK Mission Control 8.0. and you can see other details. So here it will automatically displays in the left side all the running processes just like JConsole. And if you just expand a particular JVM process, you can see the MBean server. So using the MBean only, we can manage all your JVMs. And if you just expand flight recorder, so flight recorder is like a profiling where you can capture all the information by recording your JVM. This one we will see it in a moment. First, let me open the MBean server, right click and click on Start JMX Console. So JMX will help you to manage all your JVM instances. So that's a whole architecture. So here by default, you get some dashboard control, like in flight control, you will see a lot of graphs and charts and buttons, right? So similarly, you will see something gauge is just flickers. Here you can see the heap memory, CPU usage, live set fragmentation and processor. So here you can check or uncheck to see some of the metrics. Similarly, you can see the memory. So here if you see for each panel there is a refresh button here. If you want to enable, it will automatically refresh your panels. So that is the purpose of this refresh. And if you just expand the persistent settings, you can just select this. If you want to delete, you can right click and delete. So just a self-explanatory again here. Next, let us see MBean browser. This is what I was talking about in JConsole. If you want to change something on the fly, you can use the MBean browser here. I will show you one quick example. So in this case, we have a logging. Open the java util.logging and select login. So here you can see your logger names. If you just expand, you can see the class names, package names here. So here what we can do is let us try to change something on the fly. For example, let us go with say run.rmi.client.call. So let me copy this and I'll paste in the notepad and let me copy this particular call. And if you just go to operations here, you can see again there are relevant operations for this particular logging. So we can get the logger level, you can set the logger level, and also you can get the parent logger name. So first we will get the logger level. So you have to paste the value here, hit enter. And at the bottom, you can see there is an execute button. If you just click on execute, it says info. So now assume that you want to change this level to all. So what you can do is we can just make use of this set logger level operation. And here in the P0 name, we have to pass the package name. And here we can pass the value. So now we are going to change the level to all and I click on execute. So now it is set. Now just to validate, what we can do is just go to get logger level and again paste the value here and click on execute. Now you can see all. So this is how you leverage the MBean to change on the fly without restarting your JVM instances. So it will be very helpful for debugging purpose, but you have to use it very carefully. You have to know what you're doing. Next, we will see about triggers. So triggers is something very useful if you want to do something with your say alerts. Say assume that I have to set something for the deadlocked threads. So what you can do, you can just check this box. And once you check this box, in the right side, you can see the rule details. So here you can configure your rule details, say 1. And I'm going with other details as a default one. And in the action, you can do something like say send an email or display some alert or some console output. So you can configure your action based on your rules. So this will get triggered whenever something there is a violation or when some condition met, it will automatically get triggered. So these are the things we have it in Mission Control, which we do not have it in JConsole. Next, we will see about set system. So in the system, we will have all the system details. So here you can see the operating system, process ID, number of processors, arguments, system properties, JVM statistics. So all the things you can see it in system tab. Similarly, memory, again, all the memory details, heap usage, non-heap usage, and then GC count, GC start time, GC end time, GC ID, young generation, old generation. So all the things about your memory, you can see it in the memory tab. Similarly, threads, again, all the details about your running threads, not running threads, waiting. So all the status of your JVM threads, you can see it here. And here there is a couple of options you can enable. You can enable the CPU profiling, deadlock detection and allocation. So here based on your current statistics of your threads, you can see the updates here. And if you select the thread, you can see the thread details at the bottom. And we have diagnostic command. So this is also pretty useful. Suppose I want to see what's going on. about my VM. So you can just select vm.info and click on execute. So this will display all your VM info. So here you can see there are three icons. One is the eye icon and then alert icon, and one is the red icon. So here whenever you operate these commands, it will not have any impact on your JVM. But whenever you run this yellow one, the impact will be medium. And whenever you run the red one, the impact will be very high. For example, let me take the GC class histogram. So if I click on execute, it will display the pop-up. So it will just ask your confirmation. And if I click on OK, then it will take some time to display the details. So it's like kind of stop the old scenario. So it will have some impact on your running application. So do not do that unless it's really required. And here also you can set some flag. So if you want to set some flag, you have to enter your flag name, string value, and if you click on execute, you can do that. And here again, you can use JFR check, JFR configure. So everything is available in the diagnostic commands. So these are the stuffs we frequently use in our day-to-day life. Next, let us talk about flight recordings. So why you need flight recorder? So flight recorder is very helpful if you want to capture the information from the running instances. For example, let's say 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just see what's going on in the running instances. In that case, you need the flight recorder. I guess in Java 11 and before, you need to have some commercial license associated with the flight recorder. But after that, it is available for free. If you are using the very older version, you may need the commercial license. If you want to start recording, just right click on the flight recorder and select start flight recording. So this will display the details. Here you can give some name and recording time, how many minutes you want to record, or if you want to customize something, you can customize, and even settings. And if you click on next, it will ask you to enable or disable some settings. So in this case, I'm going with the default one, and let me click on finish. So now this will start capturing the running instances. In this case, our Jetty server, and then it will just displays the details. So as you see here, it has started around 10 seconds ago. If you right click, you can stop, you can edit, you can dump, you can close. And if you just double click, again, it will ask you whether you want to dump the recording or not. So in this case, let me go with the whole recording and click on finish. So now you can see this is the recorded stuffs of your running instances. So here it will display all the details about your what and all things it captured. So this also will be very helpful for deep diving your performance issues. For example, I want to see the threads, what's going on with my threads. And you can just open the threads section, and then you can see whether it is running, whether it is waiting. So those things you can do it here. Similarly, memory. What's going on with my memory? Here you can sort, you can see the graphs, memory usage, etc. And lock instances. How many are the lock instances? So everything you can get it here, and you can easily deep dive into your analysis. So apart from that, here also you will have the automated. So here if you see, there is an automated analysis results. So just open this, and here you can see your report. So if something is needs your attention, you can just open, and then you can see what's going on. It will display the details. So this is how I get started if I'm using the flight recorder. And also here in the report at the top right, you can check this box. This will display everything in detail. So whatever things is good, whatever things is not good. So if you want to display everything, you can see these details. And if you want to export, you can export. You can also change some views. So everything is available in the results section. So everything is like a self-explanatory. You have to just open and see what's going on and what area you want to deep dive. So it depends on your problem statement. So if you want to just play around, that's the good way to start. Just open any results and just play around. You will learn more things. So instead of I'm going through each and everything, just play around with, and you will be able to grasp more quickly. So that is how I learn. So just open some graphs and see what's going on. So that's the case on my side. If you have any questions, please write in the comments, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.
If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.